There is a silent shift that happens inside the human body after the age of 60. It is not something you see in the mirror. It is not something you feel when you wake up in the morning. And it is certainly not something your doctor warns you about during a standard 15-minute checkup. But inside your veins and arteries, the rules of biology are changing. The foods that once fueled you, the breakfasts that gave you energy in your 40s, and the comforting snacks you have trusted for decades can suddenly begin to behave like slow-acting enemies. Cardiac surgeons are now sounding a specific alarm about this invisible transition. They warn that there are everyday foods, items sitting in your kitchen right now, that can quietly, progressively, and invisibly raise your risk of dangerous blood clots. This does not happen in a single day. It does not happen because of one bad meal. It happens through the compound interest of biology. Meal after meal, year after year, specific ingredients interact with an aging circulatory system to slowly thicken the blood, stiffen the arterial walls, and create the perfect environment for a clot to form. Most older adults only discover this truth after a scare. They experience a sudden, unexplained swelling in the calf. They feel a strange, heavy pressure in the chest that won't go away. Or they find themselves gasping for breath after climbing a flight of stairs that used to be easy. These are the whispers of a circulatory system that is struggling to flow. But the tragedy is that these scares are often preventable. That is exactly why today's video is the most important conversation we have ever had. We are going to walk through the 5 specific foods that cardiac surgeons warn are most dangerous for senior circulation. These are not obvious junk foods. In fact, several of them are disguised as health foods that you likely eat because you are trying to do the right thing. By the time you finish this video, you will understand not just what to avoid, but why your body reacts differently now than it did 20 years ago. You will learn the subtle early warning signs of thickened blood, signals most seniors dismiss as just aging, and you will discover the simple, delicious adjustments that can protect your heart, clear your arteries, and keep you safe for the decades of life still ahead of you. Before we dive into this life-saving information, I have a small request. Our community here is growing into a powerful force for health, and I want you to be part of it. If you are ready to take control of your circulation and protect your future, please take a moment right now to hit the like button. It helps this video reach other seniors who need this warning. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel so you never miss a guide to your health. Also, I would love to know who I am talking to today. Leave a comment below telling me which country or city you are watching from. Seeing how far this message travels is truly the highlight of my day. Now let us begin with the 5th food. This is perhaps the most shocking entry on the list because it is almost universally praised as a superfood. It is the green, vibrant ingredient that millions of seniors blend into smoothies every morning, believing they are flushing their system with health. But surgeons warn that in the wrong form, it can do the exact opposite. Number 5. The green smoothie trap, spinach. For years, we have been told that leafy greens are the ultimate medicine, and in many ways they are. But there is a specific nuance that changes when you cross the threshold of 60. We are talking specifically about raw spinach smoothies. The spinach smoothie has become a symbol of modern health. You throw a few handfuls of raw leaves into a blender, mix it with fruit, and drink it down. It feels fresh. It feels revitalizing. But for an older body, this daily habit can impose a heavy, hidden tax on your kidneys and your blood chemistry. The reason lies in a compound called oxalates. Spinach is incredibly high in naturally occurring oxalates. When you eat spinach cooked, sailed in a pan, steamed, or added to a soup, the heat breaks down a significant portion of these compounds and your body can handle the rest. However, when you blend raw spinach into a smoothie, you are consuming a massive, concentrated dose of oxalates in a liquid form that is absorbed rapidly into the bloodstream. In a younger body, the kidneys are highly efficient filters. They catch these oxalates and flush them out through urine without a second thought. But as we age, kidney filtration rates naturally slow down. It is a normal part of aging, but it means your filter is not as fast as it used to be. When an older kidney is bombarded with a high oxalate smoothie every single morning, it struggles to keep up. The excess oxalates that cannot be flushed out begin to circulate in the blood. There, they seek out calcium molecules and bind to them, forming tiny microscopic crystals. These crystals do not just disappear. They can settle in the kidneys, causing stones, but they can also create a subtle systemic inflammation in the blood vessels. This gritty blood requires more force to pump. It irritates the delicate lining of your arteries. And irritation is the first step in the formation of a clot. Cardiac surgeons emphasize that this risk is compounded if you are dehydrated, which many seniors are, or if you take calcium supplements. You are essentially creating a chemical reaction in your veins that makes the blood stickier and harder to move. You might not feel pain. You might just feel a little more tired, a little heavier in your legs. But silently, the risk is rising. Does this mean you should banish spinach from your kitchen? Absolutely not. Spinach is full of iron and vitamins that you need. The key is preparation. The solution is simple. Stop drinking your spinach and start eating it. Lightly steaming your spinach for just 2 minutes breaks down the oxalates and makes the nutrients more bioavailable. If you love your morning smoothie and cannot imagine your day without it, simply swap the green. Use greens that are low in oxalates, such as kale, in moderation, bok choy, or even romaine lettuce. These provide the chlorophyll and fiber you want without the heavy oxalate load that stresses your kidneys. Or, if you must use spinach, limit it to once or twice a week and always drink a large glass of water afterward to help your kidneys flush the system. By making this one invisible switch, you protect your kidneys and keep your blood flowing smoothly, all without giving up the healthy habit you love. Number 4. The healthy breakfast crunch, granola and clusters. Let's move to the fourth food. This one is often found in the heart health aisle of the grocery store. It features pictures of farms and active seniors on the box. It promises fiber and energy. We are talking about processed granola and oat clusters. Oats, in their pure form, are a cardiac miracle. They act like a sponge, soaking up cholesterol and removing it from the body. But what happens to oats before they reach your breakfast bowl matters immensely. To make granola tasty and crunchy, manufacturers take the humble oat and coat it in sugars: honey, maple syrup, brown sugar, and oils. Then they bake it until it is hard. For a senior, this transforms a slow-burning fuel into a high-speed sugar rocket. When you eat a bowl of crunchy granola, you are not just getting fiber. You are getting a massive, rapid injection of glucose. Because the oats have been processed and coated, your body breaks them down much faster than plain oatmeal. Here is why that matters for blood clots. Blood sugar volatility. When your blood sugar spikes rapidly after a meal, your pancreas floods the system with insulin to bring it back down. This rapid rise and fall creates a state of temporary inflammation in the blood vessels. High insulin levels and high blood glucose effectively make the blood more viscous, thicker, and more syrup-like for a period of time after eating. For a younger person, this spike settles quickly. But after 60, our insulin sensitivity decreases. The sugar stays in the blood longer, and the insulin response is often more prolonged. If you eat a bowl of granola every morning, you are starting your day by forcing your blood into a state of thickness and inflammation. Over months and years, this chronic morning inflammation roughens the walls of your arteries. Think of your arteries like a Teflon pan. When they are healthy, they are smooth and nothing sticks to them. But chronic sugar spikes scratch that coating. Once the artery wall is scratched or inflamed, platelets, the cells responsible for clotting, start to stick to the damaged area. They clump together, thinking they need to repair a wound. This is how a clot is born. Not from an injury, but from a breakfast that was too sweet for your blood to handle. The warning signs of this sugar cycle are subtle. Do you feel a crash of energy 2 hours after breakfast? Do you get a brain fog mid-morning? Do you crave salt or more sugar by 11 a.m.? These are signs that your breakfast spiked your blood sugar too high and dropped it too low. The fix is incredibly satisfying. Walk away from the boxed granola clusters. Instead, buy plain, old-fashioned rolled oats or steel-cut oats. These retain their structure. They take longer to digest, which means they release energy slowly, keeping your blood sugar stable and your blood thin. You can still have that crunch and sweetness you crave, but you must control the source. Add a handful of raw walnuts or almonds for crunch. The healthy fats in nuts actually help reduce inflammation. Add fresh blueberries or a sprinkle of cinnamon for flavor. Cinnamon is a powerful spice that helps regulate blood sugar, making it the perfect partner for your morning oats. By switching from clusters to cooking oats, you turn a clot-risk breakfast into a heart-protecting shield. Number 3. The deli counter danger: processed red meat. Now, we arrive at the third food. This is a staple of lunch sandwiches, quick dinners, and picnic platters. It is savory, convenient, and deeply ingrained in our diet. We are talking about processed red meats: ham, bacon, sausages, salami, and roast beef slices. We have known for a long time that red meat has a complex relationship with health. But for seniors, the specific danger of processed meats is not just about cholesterol. It is about preservatives and chemical reaction. Processed meats are preserved using nitrates and nitrites. These chemicals keep the meat pink and prevent bacteria. But when these compounds enter the human body, especially an older body with slower digestion, they can convert into nitrosamines, which are potent inflammatory agents. Furthermore, these meats are incredibly high in sodium. A single sandwich worth of deli ham can contain nearly half your daily limit of salt. For a senior, salt is not just a flavor enhancer. It is a water magnet. When you eat high-sodium foods, your bloodstream pulls water from your cells to dilute the salt. This increases the total volume of blood in your system, which immediately raises your blood pressure. High blood pressure is like a pressure washer blasting against the inside of your delicate veins. It creates microtears in the arterial lining. And as we just learned with sugar, wherever there is a tear, the body sends platelets to patch it up. If you constantly run high blood pressure from a high-sodium diet, you are constantly creating these patches, which can grow into clots. But there is another, quieter factor: heme-iron. Red meat is high in heme-iron, which is good in small amounts. But in excess, and specifically in older adults who may not need as much iron as growing children, high iron levels can act as an oxidant. It promotes oxidative stress, effectively rusting the cells of the cardiovascular system and making the blood less fluid. If you often feel heavy, bloated, or have swollen ankles in the evening, look at your lunch. Did you have a ham sandwich? Did you have bacon with breakfast? These are signs your body is retaining fluid and struggling with the sodium and inflammatory load. Surgeons are not demanding you become a vegetarian. They are asking you to swap processed for fresh. Instead of deli ham, roast a chicken breast on Sunday and slice it thin for your sandwiches all week. Instead of bacon every day, save it for a Sunday treat and have an egg or avocado on toast during the week. Swap red meat for plant-based proteins like beans or lentils, or fatty fish like salmon, at least 3 times a week. Salmon is rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which are natural blood thinners. They actively work to keep your platelets from sticking together. By trading a ham sandwich for a tuna salad or a bean soup, you are literally changing the viscosity of your blood from sticky to smooth. We are halfway through our list, and I hope these insights are helping you see your pantry with new eyes. It is not about fear, it is about empowerment. If you are finding this helpful, please take a second to comment, "I am taking control," below. It is a powerful affirmation to yourself and our community. And don't forget to like this video. It really helps us support more seniors in their health journey. Number 2. The morning sugar bomb: sugary cereals. Let's move to food number 2. This is one that many seniors drift back to because it is easy. It doesn't require cooking. It's soft on the teeth. It feels light. It is boxed breakfast cereal. I am not just talking about the colorful loops meant for children. I am talking about the bran flakes, corn flakes, and honey nut varieties that are marketed to adults. Flip the box over and look at the total carbohydrates and added sugars. You will be shocked. Many healthy adult cereals are essentially cookies that have been crushed into flakes. When you pour a bowl of these refined grains and add milk, which also contains natural sugar, you are creating a glycemic bomb. The mechanism here is similar to the granola, but often more intense because cereals are even more processed. They are often stripped of all natural fiber and then fortified with synthetic vitamins. This means there is no break on digestion. The sugar hits your bloodstream in minutes. For a senior, this is dangerous because of dehydration. Many older adults are chronically, mildly dehydrated. We lose our thirst sensation as we age, so we drink less water. When you combine dehydration, thick blood, with a massive sugar spike, sticky blood, you create the ultimate environment for a clot. The blood becomes sluggish. It moves slowly through the small capillaries in your eyes, your toes, and your kidneys. This sluggish flow allows platelets to bump into each other and stick. It also deprives your extremities of oxygen, leading to neuropathy or tingling sensations that many seniors mistake for just getting old. Surgeons warn that this morning habit sets the tone for the entire day. If you start with a sugar spike, you will have a sugar crash, followed by inflammation that lasts until dinner. The alternative? Structure and protein. A breakfast that prevents clots is one that stabilizes blood sugar. Eggs are a fantastic option. They contain choline and healthy fats that support brain and heart health. If you prefer cold breakfast, try Greek yogurt with berries. Greek yogurt is high in protein, which slows down digestion. Berries are low in sugar and high in antioxidants, which actively repair the damage to blood vessels. If you must have cereal, treat it like a condiment. Fill your bowl with high-fiber fruit and nuts, and sprinkle just a little cereal on top for texture. Do not let it be the main event. Your blood needs hydration and protein in the morning, not a sugar shock. Number 1, the comfort trap, cheese and dairy fats. And now, we arrive at the number 1 food. This is the hardest one for many to hear because it is often the most beloved. It is comfort food personified. It is cheese and heavy dairy fats. Cheese is delicious. It is culturally central to many of our diets. But cardiac surgeons warn that for the post-60 circulatory system, daily, heavy consumption of cheese is a significant risk factor for clots. The problem is twofold: saturated fat and delayed clearance. As we age, our lipid metabolism changes. The liver becomes slightly less efficient at processing dietary fats, specifically saturated fats found in high concentrations in cheddar, brie, and cream-based products. When you eat a cheese-heavy meal, those fats circulate in your blood for a longer period than they would in a teenager. This condition, known as postprandial hyperlipidemia, means your blood is literally fattier for hours after a meal. This fatty blood is physically thicker. It is harder for the heart to push. It moves with more turbulence through the arteries. But the real danger strikes at night. Many seniors enjoy cheese at dinner or as an evening snack. Then they go to bed. When you sleep, your heart rate drops and your circulation naturally slows down. If you go to sleep with blood that is thickened by a heavy load of saturated fat and salt, cheese is very salty. You are creating a high-risk scenario during the hours when you are most vulnerable. Stagnant blood clots. If your blood is thick with fat and moving slowly because you are asleep, the risk of a clot forming in the deep veins of the legs, DVT, rises significantly. Furthermore, commercial cheeses are often loaded with sodium, which we already know raises blood pressure. So you have the perfect storm: thick blood, high pressure, and slow movement. Does this mean you can never eat cheese again? No. But the daily cheese habit must change. The cheese and crackers every night ritual is what surgeons warn against. The strategy: treat cheese as a flavor enhancer, not a main course. Use a strong, sharp cheese like Parmesan or aged cheddar, where you only need a tiny amount to get a big flavor kick. Grate a teaspoon over your salad rather than eating a block of it. Switch to lighter, higher moisture cheeses like part-skim mozzarella, cottage cheese, or ricotta. These have significantly less saturated fat and are easier for your liver to process. And crucially, try to avoid heavy cheese meals late at night. Give your body time to process those fats while you are still active and moving around, rather than letting them sit in your system while you sleep. Conclusion: the power of small choices. When you look at this list, spinach smoothies, granola, deli meats, cereal, and cheese, you realize something profound. These are not evil foods. They are common foods. But biology is about context. What works for a growing child does not work for an aging adult. The beauty of this knowledge is that it puts the power back in your hands. You do not need expensive medications or radical surgeries to improve your circulation. You just need to make different choices in the grocery aisle. You can choose the steel-cut oats instead of the granola. You can choose the roast chicken instead of the salami. You can choose the steamed spinach instead of the raw smoothie. These micro decisions, repeated every single day, add up to a massive transformation in your health. Imagine your blood flowing freely, clean and smooth, carrying oxygen to your brain, your heart, and your legs without resistance. Imagine waking up without that heavy, sluggish feeling. That is the reward of these changes. Your body is resilient. It is waiting for you to give it the right tools. It is never too late to start. Whether you are 60, 70, or 90, your cells respond to the care you give them today. I hope this video has opened your eyes to the silent interactions happening inside you. If you found value in this, please subscribe to our channel. We are building a library of knowledge specifically for seniors who want to live their longest, strongest lives. Like this video to help us spread the word, and please share this with a friend or family member who needs to hear it. You might just save a life today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for caring about your body, and until next time, keep your heart steady and your blood flowing smooth.